The Supreme Court might have overturned the presidential pardon earlier granted to Maryam Sanda, who was sentenced to death in 2020 for killing her husband, Bilyaminu Bello, during a domestic dispute. Remember that President Tinubu had reduced her sentence to 12 years imprisonment on compassionate grounds, but the Apex Court said otherwise. Well, I'm being joined in the studio by Michael Opara, Maxwell Opara, a legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us here.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Mr. Opara, how far can a president go when granting a legal pardon, when granting a pardon?
You see, I thank God that I've been vindicated because 2 days after that issue happened, and I was called at Arise, and I told them that, who is advising Mr. President? I know the Attorney General, very polished. I have respect for him. He knows the law. Does it mean that the Attorney General don't know that this matter is still in court? Yes, so people said, I think one other lawyer came. He said, no, there is a prerogative of the president. It's your prerogative. You exercise it in line with the law. People don't understand what is pardon. Pardon means I have committed this particular issue. I have accepted my conviction. That is one. And the sentence, that is one. And I have shown remorse. Please, pardon me. You must apply. You must fill the form, apply. I don't know whether you know what I'm saying. Now you have accepted. You are at that particular time at the mercy of the president. That's when the president will now come in. Okay. Not when you have been convicted by the trial court. You went on appeal court upheld what the trial court said. You said, no, I'm still innocent. You went to Supreme Court. When the matter is in Supreme Court, you are not applying. You cannot appropriate and reprobate. And this is my position. I said, Supreme Court, they are going to descend on the executive. For this is what we call executive recklessness. You don't abuse such a power. You have the power to appoint a minister, but you cannot go to the street and pick a madman and make him a minister. And when they ask you, there must be qualification.
So when you say this case is still in court, right?
Yes.
Okay, we've established that.
Yes.
But the president's decision was based on compassionate ground,
which is still in court. It's sub judice. You don't talk about the issue that is in court. You should have allowed Sanda to withdraw that appeal, so that judgment will still be subsisting. I have a client, it's a popular matter, Mazen Nandekan. We are working on his appeal. As it stands now, that appeal, that conviction and sentence is still binding on him. Immediately we appeal against it. The matter is now before the court. Nobody can do anything. So if Mazen Nandekan wants presidential whatever, that matter must be withdrawn. There are two areas where the executive can come in a matter that is going to court. One, exercising his power under the Constitution, not the prosecutor, to discontinue a matter. Or when the matter has been concluded, the president can now come in and exercise that his power. You see what happened at Akwakoko and the one in Anambra. When Soludo, some you say, please consider them. Soludo said, I cannot do anything now. Let the judiciary finish. I cannot. That is how it's supposed to be done. And I said it. Immediately I got the judgment. I forwarded it to the producer of that decision. He said, yes, you really, I have the clip. I forwarded it. In fact, after this, I also forwarded it to you.
So what does this say then when we begin to think about the prerogative of mercy?
You don't abuse it.
How do you mean abuse it? Is it not up to the president or the governor at any point in time, the executive, to exercise that prerogative? Is that not what the law says?
There is no authority that is absolute.
Even that of the judiciary is not absolute?
It's not absolute.
Okay.
Have you not seen where a judge gave a judgment and the people wrote a petition against him? You gave an order. Remember that Section 6 of the Constitution has given you the power as a judge to issue an order. But when you abuse it, people will challenge it to the regulatory agency. Those who are regulating you, that's NJC. I don't know whether.
But if you want to go in that direction, we know that there are a lot of judgments that have come forward and a lot of petitions, and nothing's been done about them.
It depends on how you channel your petition. It depends on how you. But this particular one, I'm just using the president. The president have a lot of powers under the Constitution, but we have been abusing it. Not on this president too. Since we have we have that. I can say 1999. A lot of things has been happening, and when they ask you, ranging from presidential pardon, declaration of state of emergency, I can go on and on and on and on impeachment. It has been abused. You follow the due process. What are the due process using this particular case in question? One, the person must be convicted and sentenced. The person must apply that he has shown remorse. And the law said the custodian authority, that is the correctional center, must confirm that. That is the committee headed by the Attorney General. The Attorney General will receive that memo from the custodian authority, now correctional center, to say that this person has shown remorse and not abusing. I give you instance. In that Suleja prison we are talking about. Now, Mary Behuge from Enugu State was fighting with one lady and used knife. I heard him say in the course of this, he used I think broken bottle and stabbed the lady. And they rushed the lady to the hospital. Tried to, but the lady died. She was convicted for manslaughter and sentenced for life imprisonment. She has spent 25 years in Suleja prison. Now, from Enugu, a Christian from Enugu, now Maryam Sanda intentionally used knife, killed the husband, and she was sent to death by hanging. She spent less than 3 years, and nobody granted Mary Ibego a presidential pardon. Yes, her own is life jail, not capital punishment, not hanging by death. 25 years, nobody granted her presidential pardon. But this one, by hanging, less than 3 years, she was granted presidential pardon. Now, if you should ask me, the collected bribe is gratification.
So in this case, because you've talked about the process of the presidential pardon, yes, and how it works, application, memos submitted, approvals given, yes, confirmations given, all will pass through the Attorney General of the yes, Federation and onto the office of the President. So in this case, by your submission here, you're yes, implying that it's either the Attorney General's office, mark the word, is compromised, or someone along the way missed it, or the president didn't see it. Which one are you saying?
I blame the attorney. We are having the discussion at the NDA Secretariat before I came. I personally blame the Attorney General. Do you know why? If you watch in that Ministry of Justice, we have a lot, how many SAN there? How many departments? I serve there. DPP is there, Solicitor General, Civil Litigation Department, all these senior lawyers. You did not mandate anyone to follow, help me check this particular memo given to us by the custodian authority to check whether these people meet up, scrutinize them. If we are talking about a very serious issue, something that has to do with the image of the country, then before you now pass it to the president, before the president will now present it to the Council of State, before Council of State now say go ahead. You see the processes. Now, when this thing now happened and there was a backlash, they say that they are still working on the document. And that's why some people said, no, Attorney General, you cannot work on the document because it has been approved.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Michael Opara is a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming in this evening.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Thank you.